It's a storm, it's a gale, spinning tails like hurricanes. Through the laughter and the hail, humor makes the heavy rains. Casino money lost in the whirlwind of thought. Tarzan's in the jungle, clapping cheeks uncaught. Jesus had low T, but we turn it up high. On allegedly lane, we let the limits fly. And the wind and the wet, hurricane of talking shit, bringing life through every skit. In the eye will always fit. We're laughing in the storm, dancing in the rain. Life's a punchline, or maybe a hurricane. Every chat, every comment fuels our spree. This live wild ride is where we'll always be. The wind and the wit, hurricane of talking shit, bringing light through every skit. In the eye will always fit. We're laughing in the storm, dancing in the rain. Life's a punchline, or maybe a hurricane. Every chat, every comment fuels our spree. This live wild ride is where we'll always be.
Good hurricane homies, horror homies, it's Spooktober. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know. It's been a while. I'm out of practice. The intros used to be crisp. We'll get back to it. Let me try again. What's good, hurricane homies, or should I say horror homies? Welcome to Spooktober. It's your boy, the Juggernaut Jester Josh, aka the Grizzly Bear. And we're back for another motherfucking episode of the Jester Journals. It's been a while. What's up, Jer? Okay, so we got a doozy for you today. Alright, so where do I want to start? Let's see. So I got a few things here. Let's see. Shit. Nah. Oh, it started out rough, right? Okay, so there was supposed to be a person as a guest today on the show, but they were unable to make it due to the scariness of this llama in a panda mask. Now, what could be scarier than an animal that's known for spitting, and not in a fun way, and an animal that's owned by the CCP? So the Chinese Communist Party, the CCP, the CCP spitter over here. Oh damn, that's a tongue twister. The CCP spitter, CCP spitter. Dude, it's hard as fuck to say. Chat, say it. CCP spitter. Dude, it might be impossible to say CCC spitter. Fuck, dude. My mouth does not work, dude, when it's trying to say that. But anyway, that's the Chinese Communist spitter over there. Right there. That scared off the guest. CCP spitter, yes. But it's hard as fuck to say, dude. On God's moly, dude. Hey. Say 5 times fast. Might be impossible. See, I can do the easy ones like seashells down by the seashore, right? Or Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, were the pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. Am I right? Or Sally sells seashells down by the seashore. I can do those, but CCP spitter? CCP spitter? Dude, it's hard as fuck, dude. Alright, that's enough of that. Alright, I've embarrassed myself enough. But I'm going to tell a story about the guest that was supposed to be here today. The other day we were having a conversation and we were supposed to do something and he was like, oh, I remembered I can't because I have to go home and I have to watch the dogs. We got a new dog. We got to make sure the dogs don't kill each other. And I was like, oh, that'd be hilarious. You know, because there's like a 20-minute window from when he was going to get home and when his mom left. So like there was 20 minutes where death could happen. And I was like, not really thinking of like the logistics of it. I was like, I mean, 20 minutes, it'd be hilarious if you showed up and they were all dead, you know? And he was like, why the fuck would that be funny? And I was like, see, that's everybody's problem, dude. That's everybody's problem. Nobody thinks hard enough on how something could be funny. Dead dogs can be funny. Oh, God. Let me show you an example, okay? So he had 2 old dogs, 1 new dog. He was worried. Dog brawl, death, right? Okay. Now, what if you come home, you open the door, 3 dead dogs, right? Not very funny. Until you see on the home video that the dogs started fighting, and then some good Samaritan in the street was like, "Oh, this is my time. I'm gonna go save this small child from getting domestic abuse, and I'm gonna be a hero on the news. I'm gonna go viral, and I'm gonna be awesome, and I'm gonna quit my job at Red Robin or whatever the fuck, you know." So he busts in the door, and there's 2 dogs dead. 1 dog survived, and he's pissed now because he can't be a hero. Boots the dog right in the face. Okay, neighbors call the cops. So now this dude's on the news, ironically in a white Bronco. Okay, but unlike OJ, this guy killed 3 bitches. Okay, metaphorically, so speaking. This guy killed 3 bitches. Okay, driving down the road in a high-speed chase in the Bronco, takes the world by storm. All of it happened at your house because of 20 minutes. That's funny. See, that's how you look like a psychopath. It's Halloween. You gotta up the crazy. See what I'm saying? I still feel, on a real note, that was an act in crazy. A psycho, huh? Yeah, dude. What dude talks for 5 minutes about dead dogs being hilarious? I don't see crazy in that. You don't see crazy in dead dogs being funny? This guy was trying to be a hero. He wanted to save a small child. He opens the door. It's 3 fucking bitches. Dogs. And they so mad, he murders them all with just boots to the face like he's Randy Orton hitting them with the legend killer punt or whatever the fuck. You know? And then he takes off in a high-speed chase in a white Bronco, because the Broncos are back now. Okay? And his name happens to be O.J. Simpson. Because O.J. Simpson is out on the streets and free. This is O.J. Simpson's chance to get back in the good graces. O.J. Simpson was walking through the streets of whatever bullshit town I live in, and he heard dogs fighting, and he was like, I'm going to save that small child. Fucking hurdles the fence, you know, like that old commercial that he was in when he was a running back. Fucking dives through the door. There's just 3 dogs fighting. Fucking stomps them all out, dude. Okay? Takes off. But anyway, moral of the story is that people aren't creative enough. Because yeah, sure. If you just keep the story simple, like, oh, I came home and my dogs got into a big fight and one of them bled to death. That's sad. The story I just said, compelling, has notes of intrigue, and quite frankly, would be a part of American history forever. But no, everybody just wants to be like, yeah, whatever. Now, don't get me wrong, this is why I'm a crazy person, because I think things like this all the time. See, in his mind, he was like, okay, 2 dogs at the house, 1 new dog, they might not get along, they might fight, something bad could happen, they might, like, get some injuries. And I come up with an entire scenario where now my life is connected to O.J. Simpson's forever. And that's why I'm always in a weird mood. Because I'm always thinking about the next thing that's not going to happen, but it's not impossible. What I said with the O.J. Simpson story is not impossible. It's astronomically improbable, but it could happen. O.J. Simpson's alive. They recontinued white Broncos, and restorations exist. Okay? He's not in jail or anything. He's free to roam the streets, which is wild. Okay? And this kid had dogs at his house. Like, oh, it could all happen. Now, let's talk about something else. Speaking of dogs. So I had this idea of like, I want to start doing like, because like what seems to be going very good on YouTube is like live action skit pranks, right? So I was thinking about like, what if I, excuse me, what if I don't do skit pranks, but I do homages to movie scenes in real life? Example, Joe Dirt. We all know the movie Joe Dirt. Joe Dirt, right? And there's a scene in the movie Joe Dirt where he walks up to this Native American. Big fans of Native Americans on this show. He has a conversation with a Native American who owns a fireworks stand. And it goes, actually, you know what? I'll read it to you, chat. Joe Dirt fireworks speech. I have to prove I'm not a robot? Okay. Okay. So, in the movie Joe Dirt talks to a Native American. Big fans of Native Americans on this show. He talks to the Native American owning a fireworks stand, and he says, so you're going to stand there owning a fireworks stand and tell me you don't got no whistling bungholes, no spleen splitter, no whisker biscuits, no honky lighters, no Husker do's, no Husker don'ts, cherry bombs, Nipsey daisers with or without the scooter stick, or one single whistling giddy chaser? Now, what if I did an homage to that scene by having somebody film me and I walk into a dog shelter, and now I don't have it all planned out perfectly, but it goes something along the lines of like this. So you're going to stand here working at a dog shelter and tell me you don't got no overactive chihuahuas, no pit bulls with spiked collars, no German shepherds that used to work for the police with PTSD? You gonna mean to tell me you ain't got no Great Danes that solve mysteries with teenagers? Like, things like that. Like, but in the form of Joe Dirt. Yeah. And do it live to get reactions from different dog shelters across the state. Maybe the tri-state area. We might go Dr. Doofenshmirtz in this hoe. The whole tri-state area might be affected by this Joe Dirt homage. What do we think? Do we like it? Do we like the Joe Dirt homage? At the dog shelters. So you're going to stand there working at a dog shelter and tell me you ain't got no former police German shepherds with PTSD? No pit bulls with an arrest record and a spiky collar? No chihuahuas that shake but also bark at you like they can do something? I think it would be fun. Now, I'd obviously have to work out the kinks, and I'd have to match the beats of the you ain't got no shaky chihuahuas, no PTSD German shepherds. Like, I'd have to break it down to match the cadence of the Joe Dirt. But now I'm trying to think of what other movie scenes we could do in film videos. You could do the Joe Dirt shrimp thing with dogs too, kinda. You know, I collect all kinds of dogs. I collect chihuahuas, poodles, shih tzus, shit poodles, pushitsies. You know, no, I like the Joe Dirt, no, not the Joe Dirt thing, the Forrest Gump shrimp thing better with chicken. Well, there's all kind of chicken. There's fried chicken, grilled chicken, baked chicken, buffalo chicken, barbecue chicken. There's There's chicken wings, chicken tenders, chicken cutlets. There's, would be crazy? Yeah, it would be. Would be. What other famous movie scenes are there? I don't think there was many, actually. Like, if I'm thinking of famous movie scenes, like comedy scenes, it's not very many. Anyway, moving on. Onward and outward we shall go. So, I had an idea. I had an idea about humans. Because I was just stumbling upon reading about obscure villages and ancient peoples and weird customs and things of that nature. And I came across this very strange village. And this village likes to get high. But the way this village gets high is very, very unique. So what this village does is they poop into buckets. And then they put their head in the bucket. And then cover the rest of it so there's no air. Where they're almost asphyxiating themselves. And then when they're about to pass out, they come out and they feel high. Now this village believes that the poop is getting them high. But there's no oxygen. So there'd essentially be the same effect without the poop. Now the poop does add an element, okay? Don't get me wrong, it adds an element, but the high feeling is exactly the same, I'd imagine, because either way it's your body responding to lack of oxygen. So it's interesting to me that this village has been practicing this for hundreds of years, where they huff shit. They're shit huffers, okay? And all it made me think is like, oh, like everybody wants to like demonize people, like, oh, you drink alcohol, oh, you smoke weed, oh, you take pills or whatever, you know, like what's wrong with you? Why can't you just be regular? Why do you need to escape or whatever? Hey, stop saying that like, oh, people that live simple lives are happier. They're huffing shit for 45 seconds of high. Then, because they've spent so many generations huffing shit, they have a blood disease, which the European Union has decided that this village is not allowed to intermingle with the rest of the world because this blood disease could turn into something that would make COVID look like Hornswoggle from the WWE. Okay? Now imagine Hornswoggle going against the Big Show. That would be this blood disease of shit huffing versus COVID. And the shit huffing blood disease is the Big Show. And it would be a very big show if these village people got out and started intermingling with, like, you know, regulars, non-shit huffers. What could happen? We could see the first natural mutants. Now, I know the U.S. military's got their own mutants, and I'm sure Russia's got their mutants, and we've seen Yao Ming. We know China's got their mutants, okay? But could you imagine the blood shit-huffing mutants that we would get if, like, these villagers got out and started intermingling with, like, let's just name some crazy things. Some shit-huffing, blood disease-ridden villagers mixing with, I don't know, some Vikings, maybe some Samoans. Could you imagine a group of Vikings that had a blood disease that made them unbelievably crazy and have, I don't know, let's say, cannibalistic tendencies? Hell yeah. It's crazy, dude. To have a blood disease from huffing shit for hundreds of years. Dude, hell no. Miss me with that shit, literally. Literally. Dude, and I thought my dad was crazy. When my dad told me that when he was in jail or prison or whatever the fuck you want to call it, he said there used to be people that would take orange peels and put toothpaste on them and then stick the orange peels to the bottom of their bed and let them ferment. And then they'd eat them and it'd get them like drunk or high or like something. It was like the only way to get fucked up, kind of. And in my little young brain, I was like, what, dude? Why would you do that? That's stupid as hell. That's gross, dude. Just fucking be cool, dude. You don't need to be a little bit drunk. What's being a little bit drunk? You're eating fucking moldy, toothpasted orange peels to get a buzz? Oh, Buzz, light me the fuck out of here, dude. And then I learned about shit huffing. And the whole thing is like the whole time I'm like looking into this village, I'm waiting to read, and we explain to them that you can just do it without the shit. And maybe in a couple more 100 years, you guys won't have a shit huffing blood disease. They never said that to them. They were just like, dude, the world's woke and, it's their culture. You don't want to be racist or whatever. And I'm like, they're not even black. They're white. Chat, did you notice the whole time I never said race? Did you notice it? But I bet a lot of you thought they were African villagers. Well, that's right too. But white Africans. I don't know how you could keep your skin complexion huffing shit. Dude, South Africa's got a bunch of whites nobody knows about. And one set of those whites is huffing shit in the woods with a blood disease. It's unreal. Which makes me think, like, they really expect us to believe COVID now? Like, now that I read, it took hundreds of years of everybody in this village just going over to a fucking 5-gallon bucket, dropping a big duke in it, putting their head in it, blocking off the oxygen, almost passing out, where most of the time they would pass out, and people would have to fucking, save them. And it took hundreds of years for them to get a disease. Huffing shit every day. And they expect me to believe one dude ate a bat from a wet market and it caused a global pandemic? Nah, ski, because this village is huffing shit for hundreds of years, and it ain't even broke containment of that little area. Don't knock it till you try it? Hell no, dude. I'm not getting high by huffing shit, dude. Ain't no way, dude. And then getting, basically fucking, like, you're on a continent with other people. You could literally just find a road and follow it, and you'll get to somewhere where you can intermingle with the same people of your species. But now the governments of the world won't let you because you have a blood disease because your village has been huffing shit for a few hundred years. Oh, shit, dude. You gonna try it, dude? You gonna try that asphyxiation, dude? You gonna try to get some of that asphyxiation? Hell yeah. Dude, I just think that's the craziest thing. They want me to believe that one dude in China ate a bat from a wet market, and then he got sick, and then infected the entire world over and over again. But this village was huffing the dukes for hundreds of years. And it's contained to their little village? Now, sure, the governments of the world have deemed it a decent enough risk that they're not allowed to breed with others. You know what I mean? But hey, how come no point in any of this, when the governments were deciding, hey, we don't want to tell these people what to do, they never explained to them, hey, guys, here's alcohol. Have you never heard of it? Here, try this. Stop huffing shit, please. Stop huffing shit. Never did that. The CIA's been known to fucking just give people, hard drugs and start, revolutions and drug wars with it. But, the CIA is just like, Not our issue, doggy. We don't deal with villages in the middle of nowhere with no GDP or oil, so we're just hands off, you know? And then, you know, the Health Alliance of Europe was like, no, they have to stay there. They stay there. Ozzy was eating bats a decade ago, and he's gonna outlive us. Well, Ozzy Osbourne's a demon, dude. Everybody knows that, dude. You don't write a song like Crazy Train without being on the train to hell and then making a deal with the devil and he lets you come back. That's the Crazy Train. Ozzy Osbourne's immortal now. I don't think you guys get it. Ozzy Osbourne is immortal now. Ozzy Osbourne can only die should Ozzy Osbourne choose to. And that's just big facts, doggies. That is just big facts, doggies. Paranoid is even better than Crazy Train? Alright, Neil, next time I do a game stream, you'll have to pop in and choose that as a song. Which will be Sunday. Sunday, actually. That was Black Sabbath. Hell yeah. You know what's crazy? This is very interesting, actually. And this should probably be studied. The fact that there are songs from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. And even 80s songs are over 30 years ago. Okay? The fact that there's so many songs from those years that even young kids, if you played it, would probably know the songs. Maybe not know every word, but know of the song and probably like be a little bit into the song is absolutely insane to me. Which is because like, I don't know, it doesn't go in reverse. You know what I mean? Like, there's no songs from today's day and age that I think last super, super long. Like, for instance, like, what song from 2000 to 2005 could you play today that would, like, still get the hype that Crazy Train or any of those old songs? When he went solo? Well, he went solo because he died and made a deal with the devil. And then he was like, hell yeah, now watch this. Crazy Train. What's good? Mr. Brightside? Well, yeah, dude, but Mr. Brightside, okay, I'll give you that for sure. But that's almost a European thing where it's been in the Billboard 100 in Europe since the song came out. I'm pretty sure there's only been like 1 or 2 weeks since the song came out. It hasn't been in the Hot 100 in Europe. So like that's crazy. But like, dude, so like record-breaking music. This conversation's gonna have no coherence, just so we're clear. Record-breaking music now is almost laughable, right? So like, Shabuzi right now has a song called Tipsy, okay? And it's been #1 for 15 weeks. Okay? And he's 4 weeks away from breaking the all-time record. Okay? And people are like, Shabuzi could be the male Taylor Swift. Shabuzi this, Shabuzi that. You know, Shabuzi's the next Drake, but country Drake. You know, whatever the fuck. You know? They're literally talking about this guy because of this song, because it's been #1 for 15 weeks, and he's had other songs in the top 10. Wow, this has been #1. The thing is that the #1 song of all time that he's chasing is Old Town Road by Lil Nas X. And that was 2 to 3 years ago, and Lil Nas X can't sell tickets now. Lil Nas X, statistically, has the #1 song of all time. The #1 song of all time on the Billboard charts And the dude can't sell out small arenas. Record-breaking music almost means nothing now. Yeah, Neil. I agree with you. But, like, if you played a bunch of those songs at, like, a high school party right now, would those hit? Because what I'm saying is that our high school party, which was still, 25, 30 years later than most of those songs, they would play those songs and we'd all get hype as fuck. If we played, one of Eminem's songs from, like, the 2000s at a middle school or high school dance today, I don't know if they go as crazy as we went for the older songs back then. Get Low? Yeah. I guess you're right. I don't know. But dude, the fact that Lil Nas X 2 or 3 years ago had the number one song of all time and now can't sell any tickets, like, what are records then? You know what I mean? Like, cause like, he beat all the songs of all time. And I still think, like, 15 years from now, Crazy Train will still be more memorable and more people will know it and vibe with that way more than Old Town Road. I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping, dude. Maybe I'm tripping. Yeah, then I guess you got to take into account when he made Old Town Road, he didn't come out as gay. He didn't twerk on the devil yet. He didn't fucking start going, or whatever the fuck, Who knows if that has anything to do with anything, but the ticket sales part, I mean, but whatever, chat. Am I right? Shoulda got low. Shoulda got them apple bottom jeans, boots with the fur. Hey, I think it's also generational. The attention span has dropped drastically. Yeah, I think. Also, I think another thing is I think, like, a lot of our generation was introduced to, like, songs through movies. Like, we got introduced to a lot of songs growing up through movies. And I just don't think the young generation is watching movies all like that. Or maybe it's even crazier, because, like, maybe, I don't know, dude. Let me just say this. I don't know shit about the young generation. What's up with them? What's going on with them? Yeah, 80s kids and on keep having shorter and shorter attention spans. Yeah. And dude, I don't think a lot of it has to do, like, I thought about this the other day when I was watching a movie from the 80s. And I was thinking like everything took more time of your own to do. So, like, you would give it your attention, right? So, like, what I mean by this is, like, cassette players, right? You would have to go to the store, buy the cassette, go home, either sit in your car, if your car was the only place that had a cassette player, or pop it into your stereo in your room or whatever, and then you would play it. But there was nothing else to do because that was the goal of the day. You woke up that day and your goal was like, oh my God, fucking Metallica just dropped their third album. I'm going to go get the cassette. So then you plan your whole day around going and get the cassette. And then, you come home. You're like, oh, I can't wait to listen to it. It's 18 songs. It's going to be lit. And then you pop it in and you listen to all 18 songs. And then you listen to it and then you're like, all right, 1, 7, and 14 were my favorites. So you rewind it and you play 1, 14, and 7 and 14 again. And then you're like, oh, that was sick. And then you go and tell your friends about it. But that was the whole objective. Now, like, you like an artist, you could like an artist today just like those people liked, Metallica back in the day. But now you just wake up, you get a notification on your phone from iTunes, hey, your favorite guy just dropped a new song, and you click play, and then you play it, and you're like, all right, it was all right, I guess. But, like, as the song's playing, you're also responding to a text message. Your sister's talking to you about, like, what you're going to do that day, you know what I mean? All that good jazz. And it's just like, it's not even that the cell phone is ruining attention. It's the ease in which you have access to things makes you not appreciate it. That's why a lot of old people will always laugh at the same jokes, but young kids toss memes out like trash. Hell yeah. Talk to a girl will never die because a lot of old people giggle when they say it. That's true. That's true. She has done nothing since but make a shitload of money. Yeah, for sure. For sure. I mean, dude, think about it, dude. I mean, people get famous, like, realistically, be honest. Hawk Tuah is just a female DJ Khaled. DJ Khaled was just a DJ that happened to be around rappers when there was no social media or cell phones. And then he got on he DJ'd a couple people's beats, and on him he's like, we the best. And then when the internet became a thing, it got memed. So then he was a meme. So then artists were like, all right, cool, we'll do DJ Khaled stuff. And then he would just keep screaming, we the best. And now, like, we the best is a fucking phrase in the ether. And a lot of young kids don't even know who the fuck DJ Khaled is. What's worse, Hawk Tuah or I'm an Island Boy? Personally, I'm going to say the Island Boys one is worse because they're such shitty people. Right? The things I've seen from the Hawk Tuah girl, let me be nice. The things I've seen from Haley Welsh, she seems like just a normal girl that went unbelievably viral and was like, I don't want to have to work a real job, so I'm going to do whatever I can to try to capitalize on this. And, she's relatively likable, so it is what it is. The fact that people posted that so much and so often was unbelievably annoying. But the Island Boys are shitty people who were trying to clickbait so hard after that. It was unbelievably annoying. If you're asking like what's going to be a more, Hawk Tuah will be Hawk Tuah will be a phrase on Pornhub for the next decade. The thing Island Boys will be like when I'm 50 and I'll be like, back in my day, when the internet was weird, do you remember those? Just an Island Boy. That's how we're going to remember Island Boy. And the Hawk Tuah girl will be a fucking, like, Hawk Tuah, the phrase, will be on porn videos for a decade. It'll be in every young comedian stand-up set. Rappers will do Hawk Tuah because, rappers have said getting their dick sucked every imaginable way. I don't think there's 420-some thousand words in the English language. And rappers have constructed every possible way until the words Hawk Tuah showed up on how to say I'm getting my dick sucked by a baddie. And now there's a brand new phrase. So we got 5 to 10 years of rappers saying Hawk Tuah. Okay? And not only that, is like 5 years from now when she's not making money, but she's still got her looks, she might break down at that point and be like, you know what? I am going to do an OnlyFans. And then that'll be news. They'll be like, can you believe the viral sensation from 5 years ago is doing an OnlyFans? Let's see if she really does Hawk Tuah. So that'll be a whole thing, dude. And the Island Boys, they're already non-existent. They're just, I don't even, who are they? What's an island boy? I work around a good bit of 40 to 60-year-old demographic. It's in their vernacular for life. Yeah, exactly, dude. It's... yeah. Oh. Yeah, chat. You see this thing right here? Oh. In a little game. Yeah, nah, dude. Fuck Hawk 2. And, like, dude, like... never mind. Dude, see, that's the thing is, like... when things are that big, I don't even really like talking about them in a funny comedy sense. Because every other big comedian's already talked about it on their podcast, and I haven't listened to it. So then if I say something similar, because whether people want to admit it or not, podcasts in real time, if they're doing them in real time, a lot of the times, it's the easier of the jokes. It's not the in-depth joke, it's the easier one to find. So if everybody's talking about the same subject, 5 to 6 people are going to have the same joke. So I try not to talk about things because obviously the Hawk Tuah thing, it's super easy to make jokes, but like every comedian already talked about this for a half hour with their other comedian friends on their podcast that gets 100,000 views. You know, there's no point in me sitting here being like, if you don't Hawk Tuah, I don't talk to her, you know what I mean? You know, I'm trying to find me the female Avengers, you know, Black Widow, you know, a black girl whose husband died, you know, and then, you know, Hawk Tuah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, just like all that dumb fucking shit. Oh, it's so irritating, dude. So apparently Christopher Columbus was a Jew. That's a new thing. It's been going around. So, here's the weird thing, man. Here's the weird thing, dude. Dear Jews, honest question. Honest question. If you really, really want people to stop saying that you control the United States and that you secretly run the world and all the money and the propaganda, you should probably stop taking credit for every significant figure. So the Jews, not happy if you say, the Jews run America. But now, they run Hollywood objectively, you know. Look up the actors from our childhood, right? And then just look into them. Name an actor, name any of them. Any actor, any of them. Name one. Probably has Jewish parents. Okay? So, objectively, they run Hollywood. We know they created the banks. That's not conspiracy. That's history. Okay? And the reason they created the banks is because there was a time where religion ran the world with kings, and a lot of religions say that you can't lend people money or do anything like that, because if you have extra money, you need to give it to the church. Okay? Because the king wanted the money, or the pope wanted the money. But the Jews were like, no, if you have extra money, you can lend it out, but then you get stuff in return. And that's how the banks started. Okay? So they started the banks. They started Hollywood. They did start Hollywood, by the way. Okay? And we can get into that if you'd like. They started Hollywood because nobody would let the Jews work on Broadway. So, I've said this before, if I'm not allowed to work at Domino's, and then I go open my own pizza shop, and that pizza shop just happens to become the world's largest pizza shop, that doesn't mean I run world's pizza. That just means I made the better product for a while. But if the government shows up and then says, we're going to give you we're going to give you government money, and we're going to tell everybody they have to eat your pizza or they're racist or something like that, that's more similar. Now, if you create a business, you can hire and work with whoever the fuck you want. So I'm not upset that most of the actors were Jewish. I don't care. Literally, when I say that, it's not to be like, dude, the Jews run shit. I don't believe the Jews run shit. It's Hollywood. It's fake. They run fake shit. Ha! The Jews run fake shit. Money, fake. Hollywood, fake. The Jews run fake shit. Okay? They don't run the world. Now, that being said, there is a large constituents of people that believe the Jews run the world. And the Jews are constantly saying to those people, stop that. It's dangerous. It gets us killed. But then, the moment they say that, they also turn around and go, hey, we're not getting the credit we deserve. We discovered America. Okay, so you don't want the credit for running America, but you discovered it, you funded it, you control elections through APEC kind of ish, and every government official bends to your will, dude. And then you're still like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Why aren't you giving us credit? Christopher Columbus was Jewish, man. The discovery of America was our shit. And the most hilarious thing is like, yeah, it makes sense, dude. It makes sense, dude. You dare mention the Jews, you anti-Semite? I mean, the Jews mentioned themselves, bro. The Jews mentioned themselves, okay? Dude, I hate hats so much. Wearing this crown actually sucks. I hate it. Alright. Well, now that I've gotten canceled this episode with my Jew talk, let's talk about, oh shit, I got more Jew talk, fuck. Alright. Chad, I guess we gotta talk about it. I recently discovered that there's a conspiracy in Ethiopia. Oh shit. He done did it. Oh god. He said the words out loud. So, apparently, chat, there is a cave in Ethiopia, where a group of people protect this cave and claim that the Ark of the Covenant is inside of it. And now, there's 7 live protectors of the cave, and all of them have cataracts over their eyes, and radiation-style boils and tumors, and radiation poisoning. So, some people believe that they do actually have the Ark of the Covenant, and now, I wasn't all that intrigued until you tell me how it got there. Well, when you tell me during the Crusades, a group of Orthodox Ashkenazi Jews come into contact with a group of Knights Templar and acquire, air quotes, the Ark of the Covenant, and then those group of Ashkenazi Jews set out on a path to Ethiopia where they hide this thing in a cave and then cut themselves off from the world for many, many years and basically forget they still claim Jewishness, but they don't practice Jewishness the way Israel practices Jewishness. And supposedly each guard of the cave after 5 years or so gets the white film over their eyes and they get radiation poisoning. So some people believe that it's either actually the Ark of the Covenant, which, let's be honest, if the Jews actually have the Ark of the Covenant, what's going on in the Middle East makes a lot more sense. You would be unbelievably arrogant if you were like, I know for a fact my God's real. We have his weapon in a cave. You're lucky we're using regular weapons. Oh, God. I got a sharp booger. Oh, my God. If you knew you had God's weapon in a cave, and then, I don't know, Joe Biden was like, hey, we're going to stop giving you money unless you stop doing what you're doing. You'd be like, man, shut the fuck up, dude, before we open the cave up and ruin everything. I mean, but if it's not the Ark of the Covenant, well then, did ancient people find some naturally radiated stone, like stone with radiation, or did they find a asteroid that survived in, like, what could it be? What could it be if it's natural and not a piece of technology? And if it is a piece of technology, how the fuck did we forget that shit? It's very interesting. Very interesting, but my whole question is like, only like 7 people have ever went to this cave, and it hasn't been any time recently, and nobody's taken a Geiger counter? Are we fucking shitting me? Can we get somebody with a Geiger counter near this cave? Stat, please! Dude, it bothers me so much how easy it is to get answers sometimes, and you just don't get them. Like, that's what makes me feel like it's a conspiracy. Which it's probably not, so TikTok freaks that are trying to make money off of TikTok videos, don't clip this and be like, this guy knows what's up, or whatever. But I forget what I was going to say. I started laughing about the TikTok person clipping me and being like, this guy knows what's up. Fuck. What was I saying right before that? Oh, that's what makes me think it is a conspiracy. Is that it's so easy. It is so easy to find out if there's actually radiation coming out of this cave and giving people white film cataracts, right? And radiation poisoning. It's so easy and nobody does it. Nobody does it. It's like, come on, dude. Are we serious? It's so easy to find out that answer that it makes me feel like they're purposely not letting people get the answer, because the answer is yes. There's radiation out the wazoo coming out that cave, and that thing's been in that cave since before 1945, so before America and fucking Oppenheimer created nukes, right? So where the fuck did this nuclear energy come from, and why is it radiating out of a cave? Good thing the Nazis never heard about the cave. Yeah, dude. Well, that's the whole thing. Is like, some people believe that like he was trying to find that cave. But like, that's the whole point, is that this village in Ethiopia was spent, I think it was like almost 300 years uncontacted by the rest of the world. 300 years this village was just chilling next to this cave, being like, yeah, doggy, we protect the most powerful thing that's ever existed, and we don't venture out and tell anybody. And as a matter of fact, nobody that brought this thing here, or has even laid their eyes upon it, has existed in 200 years. And then randomly some hikers are going through Ethiopia, or like a plane or something saw a fire or something, and then people were like, what the fuck's going on down there? And then people go down there and start talking to them, and they're talking in ancient fucking Ashkenazi Hebrew or whatever, and they're like, what the fuck? And then they're like, yeah, we're Jews, but we practice this, this, and this, and we're protecting this cave. You want to meet the wise men? Here, meet the wise men. Every single wise man, fucking eyes whited out with the fucking film. Dude, I bet the Nazis were after that shit, unless they'd never heard about it. But there had to be rumors. I mean, Hitler had a submarine going to Antarctica to find the Spear of Destiny. I mean, come on, dude. It's a myth. Or the Hand of God. Either one. It doesn't matter. God touched something, and because God touched it, it absorbed his power or some shit. Hitler's a fucking dork. All right. Well, I think that's good for the first episode of the Jester Journals back. Eh? Eh? I got a couple more things to talk about, but I kind of want to save them. Because I want to work out the details on this one. Okay, so I have one. I'll give you a sneak preview, chat. I thought I was going to have time today to iron out the kinks, but it's probably about a 15-minute story that I've concocted. And I want to come up with some better punchlines, but I'll give you the premise for the next Jester Journals, okay? So here's the premise. Here's the premise. A guy grew up very religious, but now he's down hard on his luck, and he's living on the streets. And it's December, Christmas is coming up, and he's living on the streets, and somebody hands him a bottle and goes, "Merry Christmas," and he sits there and he starts getting blackout drunk. And then he thinks to himself, he goes, "Holy shit. I don't think anybody has told Jesus happy birthday to his face in at least 2,000 years. Fuck it, I'm overdosing on Christmas." And he does, chat. And when he does that, he meets Jesus, and chaos ensues. So stay tuned for that on episode 31 of the Jester Journals. Woo! Fuck it, I'm just gonna raid Lauren. Fuck it, chat. Jared, trust me, I may not have sold it well, but it will be glorious. I told it at both jobs, and I had multiple people losing their shit. You're gonna go huff some shit, dude? You might get a blood disease in 150 to 300 years. Don't do it, man. Don't do it. Don't get a blood huffing shit disease. And that's the message from Hurricane of Thoughts this week, chat. Is don't get a shit huffing blood disease. Don't huff shit. Don't huff shit. Don't huff shit. Hurricane of Thoughts, chat.